Okay, I thought it wasn't working, but it is working. That one is working, but this one is not on this swivel. Okay, hello, my Smooners. So this morning I'm gonna be cooking. I'm making spaghetti sauce and spaghetti. I'm doing it this morning so that I can eat, shower, and go get my nails done. This is the nails I have done since May. Okay. Oh, cool. I hadn't charged this, so I don't know if it was. I didn't know if it was fully charged or whatever. All right. So today I am making spaghetti sauce and spaghetti. Um, and I am going to be answering any questions or whatever, if anybody has anything they want to know about Ozempic and Zepbound, since those are the two GLP drugs that I have been on since I started my weight loss journey. I haven't done a live on Facebook in a long time. I've been doing my lives on YouTube, but I haven't done my live on Facebook in a while. So yeah, this is this morning I got on the scale and I was 136.6 pounds. It was 7, and then I stood on it again because yesterday I was 137.6, and I was like, let me stand on this thing again because I want a full 1 pound down, right? And so I got on the scale again, and then it was 136.6, and I was like, bet. So I recorded that. I am 6 pounds away from my goal of 130. So if you guys don't know, if you've been watching my YouTube channel since I started on Ozempic, when I started my channel, it was about, I talked about trying to lose weight and things like that, and then I kept gaining, didn't lose, I lost, and then I gained back and everything, and still trying to figure out what was going on with me. And then they started talking about semaglutide and things like that, and then I researched it. My friend who's a doctor, I discussed it with her, and then I got on Ozempic, obviously. So before I got back serious on losing the weight, I had ballooned to over 270 something pounds. Let's just keep it there, because God knows I was probably 300 or a little bit more than that, but let's keep it at 276. And then when I got on Ozempic, I lost over 100 pounds. I got down to 160 something and went back, got off it because I had gotten down to below the BMI required to take it, and I figured probably I should stop. Disregarded the fact that I had hormonal issues and I needed to stay on it. So I got off it, and of course I gained the weight back. When I gained the weight back, hi Ebony, how are you? When I gained the weight back, I had already said I was going to get back on Ozempic if it wasn't, if I was getting the weight back and everything I was doing wasn't working out, which is still managing my caloric intake and working out. So I was working out, eating a decent amount, but I was still gaining. So getting down to 160, by the time the next year rolled around, I had gained back about 30 something, up to 40 pounds of that. So I went back on Ozempic, but this time when I went back on Ozempic, I didn't lose any weight. It wasn't doing anything in the weight category. I gained a little bit more. And and I was still paying out of pocket. I wasn't covered by insurance. So I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. So I said, let me try something else. And I decided to try Zepbound, which is the weight loss version of Mounjaro. And so I've been on Zepbound since. Right now I'm on the 15 meg dose, and it is working out perfectly for me. I manage what I eat. I work out during the week, Mondays through Fridays. I mess up on Saturdays and Sundays because I'm exhausted. I'm tired after the whole week of work. So I don't work out on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I keep saying that I'm going to incorporate that, but I just haven't. Um, so what I want to do is just try as much as I can to stay active on the weekends because I weigh myself every day. So Monday through Friday, I'm working out, I'm losing weight, I'm getting fit. I see the numbers every time I get on the scale. And then Saturday and Sunday, I veg out. And then by Monday, I have to work extra hard to lose. And it's just so crazy. I don't understand what these hormones, this perimenopause is doing to the body. I'm not messing around. I don't even care at this point. I'm just doing everything I can to stay healthy and fit. So obviously you can see, I work out my muscles. I was like, what is it? J-Lo and Angela Bassett, they can't be the only ones with the fancy arms. I can get some fit arms too. So I've been working out. The most difficult part has been the belly area. I have a lot of loose skin around my stomach and maybe like my thighs and my butt area. But I do squats every day. I do a lot of lunges. I do weights. I haven't been I spend at least an hour in the gym Mondays through Fridays, but I don't do a lot of vigorous exercise. I pretty much do the treadmill. I have an iFit treadmill and they have programs on it and I'm at the beginner level. And I have to do that because I eat so little, right? I eat little, I have a boiled egg for breakfast or two. I have 4 ounces of white fish or salmon or whatever my choice of protein is that is not a boiled egg during the day. I have this seaweed. I love this. This is such a good snack. So when I feel a little peckish, Denver, thank you, TMT2. When I feel a little peckish, this is what I have. I discovered it one day. We went to Whole Foods, grocers, and it was just stacked in the corner somewhere. And I was like, ooh, they have the little small square packs. And I said, ooh, I want to try this because I love, seaweed. And they have different flavors. This is the sea salt one. So they had them in the little small square boxes. And it was so good. I really just got so, like, oh my God, this thing tastes so good. I wonder if they have other flavors because they had this one that said sea salt. So I went researching it and they have a whole bunch of other flavors. And they have avocado oil with salt as well. I like that one. In the boxes, it's lower calories. I don't understand the difference, but and they're so good. I found that I was eating those small packs through the day. I could eat about almost 7 or more of those packs, and I said, "Oh no, this can't be good." I wonder if they have other versions of it, and they had the big sheets. And I don't know why. I don't understand the science behind it. But the larger sheets, you can see I have foil over it because I opened it and I had like maybe 2 or 3 of them and I closed it back up. So I'm going with the larger sheets instead of the ones in the small boxes. So the nutritional facts here, this one sheet is 20 calories and each one contains about 7 sheets in here. So 7 sheets, one at 20, that's 140 calories. That's all. So if I wanted to eat up this whole bag, I could, and I'd still be okay. But I'll have 2 or 3 sheets for like a snack, workout, come back after working out. And if I feel a little bit peckish, I eat the rest of it. You can see I didn't even eat the rest of this one because I had some ribs as my protein yesterday. We got from Whole Foods, and that was a lot. So I had that, had a little bit of my seaweed, and then I was like, that's it. I stopped eating. So another thing I discovered when I started my weight loss journey was that I had my digestive system was slow, extra slow. I could be that I'm not producing enough stomach acid to break down the food quicker, because there are a lot of people who have that and they have bowel movements every day. I generally don't. I can go days without having that. And that has nothing to do with Ozempic or Zepbound. I've always been like that. So with the hormonal issues, this whole perimenopausal nonsense that's going on with me, I'm very, very intentional about how late I eat. So if I can, I stop eating at 4 p.m. At the very, if it's just unavoidable, 6 o'clock, I cut off, just to give my body time to digest what I've eaten, sleep okay, wake up okay. I'm going to show you the tea that I drink. Hi, Fly Normal. Thank you, TMT. Let me get. So I have this tea. What is it doing? Okay. I have this tea. It is California Dietary's drink. This mess gets you going. So I drink this every other day just so I can have bowel movement. This is supposed to be extra strength. 1 tea bag doesn't do it for me. 2 tea bags, 3, none. I stack my Breville tea maker with about 5 of them just so I can have a bowel movement. And that, it's like maybe a good 10, 11 hours. Now, in fact, it's even taken longer for it to work this time around, even with 5 tea bags. So that's crazy. So I do this every other day. I drink my regular green tea in between. I have this. I stay hydrated the entire time. I'm always drinking, filling that up with little lime and lemon. And that's it. I try to stay active the entire day during the week. On Saturdays and Sundays, not so much. I lay down on the couch, me and my BDD, and we just watch whatever's on the TV. So yeah, so this is what I drink to have a bowel movement. I know that a lot of people have issues with Ozempic or Zepbound. I haven't had a single side effect. As I said, the not being regular has nothing to do with Ozempic or Zepbound. I've just been like that all my life, even during my skinny girl era. So it's just been a perfect smooth ride for me on Ozempic, and then of course it stopped working, and then when I got on Zepbound, even better. So as I said, this morning I was 136.6. I'm trying to get to I've moved the goal to 125. I know. It's just, I feel as if I have that goal that I keep, working towards, then I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to stay, trying to accomplish it. I don't know if that makes sense, but as long as I keep So when I started, I was like, let me just get to 140, right? I got to 140. I was like, well, let me just get to 130. And I'd probably be 130 probably by the end of this week, this upcoming week or so. And so when I got to 140, I was like, why stop at 130? Let me go to 125. So now I'm trying to get to 125. I think 125 is my limit, because if I go under 122, then I would be skinny, and I don't want that. I want to stay, fit. And I want to stay fit. So, all right. I'm going to keep checking to see if there are any comments, any questions. I've given you guys a little bit of kind of what the situation is. So I'm going to be cooking. I'm making spaghetti I'm going to put some pine nuts in it, which I haven't even prepared. So I'm going to make spaghetti with spaghetti sauce. I don't know what my BGD bought from the grocery store. I have to go and look to see what sauce he bought. But I'm going to throw in some pine nuts, mushrooms. I'm using a combo of, my mincemeat is going to be beef and pork. And yeah, so I'm going to do that, get that out of the way so I can go and get these nails done and then rest for the rest of the day. So hang out with me while I cook. And then, if you have any questions, I'm just going to keep looking to see if anyone's had a question and about Ozempic or Zepbound, because those are the two that I've been on. And I'll answer them while I cook. So, and if you are new to this channel, click the subscribe button. I like this little thing. It's following. I really like it. I hadn't charged it since we got back from our trip, so it holds a charge really well. Let me show you what it is. It's built-in rechargeable. Oh no. Well, it's saying it's a built-in rechargeable, but it's a little stand that I put my phone on, and it tracks, my motion, so it follows me around. I got this from Amazon. Yeah, rotation auto face track, and it says 8-hour working time. I haven't charged it since I used it since I used it in Tuscany. That's the one I have, the pink one. That's what it looks like. So it's following me around. I like that, even though my kitchen is a little upside down, but follow me around. Okay, so let me get my I don't know if this thing scrolls the comments, but I'm going to keep checking. If I see any new comments, any questions about Ozempic or Zepbound. If you have any questions about Ozempic or Zepbound, just type it in there. I'm going to look and see, and hopefully I'll catch it early enough to answer. Yeah. This is for the pasta, but I won't get this going now. I'll just keep it on. No, it's stuck. Why is it doing that? Okay. I'm going to put the pot on the stove for a few, so it can heat up. And I'm going to get my I'm chopping up this entire onion. It's going to go into the pot with my with the meat. I use a lot of, this knife is not sharp. Sharpen it. It's gonna make me cry. So I'm heating up my pot. It's cast iron. I don't want things to stick to it. I don't know if that's part of the seasoning. We'll season it. I'm going to cut it up in cubes. I was thinking I would, I'm so exhausted during the week, after a long week. And then so when the weekend rolls around, I'm just like, let me chill. Let me chill. But I think instead of chilling, even if it's just a little walk around the mall, walking around the mall is dangerous because then you want to spend money. Oh, look at that. You want to buy? And me, if there's a Sephora store, Mark, I'll go in there. I'm going to start looking for silly things. Lip gloss. I have lip gloss. I'm all glossed out. I have enough gloss to... Why? Why am I buying more gloss? What is the purpose of more gloss? No, there's always a reason. Come on. That's silly of me to say that. Why am I saying that? There's always a reason for gloss. You gotta keep your lips looking nice, moisturized, juicy. I'm not crying. Really, Mr. Onions? You're not making me cry today. So I'm here. Ask me your questions about Ozempic. Ask me your questions about Zepbound. I know a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I know a few people who got on Ozempic and didn't lose weight for the first time they ever got on it. Now, I don't know how true that is, because I think if you, the very first time you use it, it's going to work, but I don't know. And I'm not going to say it's a lie, but I know a few people who got on it the first time and it didn't work. And then they went on Mounjaro, which is the Eli Lilly version of Ozempic. And they said it worked better for them. I don't know how true it is. I'm not going to dispute it, because I was on Ozempic for a while. Worked perfectly. As I said, I lost over 100 pounds. And then I gained a little bit of the weight, almost. I gained a little bit of the weight back. And when I went back on Ozempic, it stopped working. So that's the only reason I'm saying I'm not sure. I think if you tried it the first time, oh, why am I not wearing my apron? Oh, I guess I wanted you guys to see my guns and to see my... I need to put on my apron. But, so that's why I'm saying no, of course it's going to work the first time. But I don't know. Like I said, everybody has a different composition. You know, a lot of the things that happen to us, whether it's to our physiology, is a lot of it could be genetics related, and obviously environmental and things like that. So because of the mere fact of that, you know, everything is not going to work the same way on everybody. It'll work perfectly for me, it might not work for the next person. That's the only reason I'm not going to dispute the stories of, oh, I used Ozempic and didn't do anything for me. But I used it the first time and it worked fantastic. No side effects, where I know some people who did have side effects. So I never had any side effects. The problem was this: the next time, I should never have gotten off of it in the first place. But I did. And when I tried to go back on it, it didn't work in the weight loss department. I wasn't losing as much weight as... I didn't lose any weight. You know, the other parts of it, what Ozempic does to the body, worked, but the part where the losing the weight, even though I was doing the things I did the first time to lose the weight. So I'm not sure why it didn't work. And I think maybe the makers of Ozempic, we probably need to have a discussion with them about that and find out why it didn't work the second time, the second go around. And if you're my Smooners, if you've been keeping up with what I've been doing, if you watched the video of when I got on Zepbound, the only reason I got on Zepbound was because there was well, not the only reason. I had to get on it because I needed to lose the weight. But why Zepbound as opposed to Mounjaro? On Zepbound, I thought I was going to be able to get the vial version where I would buy my own syringes and give myself the shots. And those were at a much lower price at the time when I went to try to get it. And that wasn't the case. When the doctor called in the prescription, I ended up paying the full price for the pen version, and so that didn't work out. Instead, I went to the Eli Lilly website, and they are offering manufacturers discount for people who had insurance, but their insurance would not cover the drug. So they were given a discount at the time for like about $600 off. I think it was it $600. Yeah, about $600 off, because I pay $650 for it now. And I think I started at the, is it 10.5 or 7 point, I can't, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting which one I started with, because I've been on this 15 meg for a minute now. So I either started with the 7.5 or the 10, I can't remember. But I ramped up until I got to 15, which is their highest dose. And this is, I'm on 15 right now. So I've been on it. How long have I been on Zepbound? I think since last year, I want to say October. I've been on Zepbound since last year, October. And there's going to be a lot of washing of hands and washing of hands and drying with paper towels. I can't see. From Turkey. Hi, Merv. Hi. Wow, from Turkey? Hi. Okay, so yes, I know it looks like a lot. It's one big red onion or purple onion, whichever one floats your boat. This is going to go into the pot with my meat. I'm going to get my pine nuts. I'm going to toast. Hi, darling. My beautiful sister has joined. Hello. So I'm going to get my pine nuts. Thank you, my love. You see my guns? Okay, so I'm going to get my pine nuts and put them in my You don't need training. You're always working with your hands, so your muscles are probably the same as mine, if not bigger or better. Oh. This thing gets stuck. What are you looking at? Okay. So this is what he got from the store. Your mama's tomato sauce, roasted garlic. And then I like to put sun-dried tomatoes. This must be new. They've changed the packaging. into I put this in with the meat. Once the meat has browned up, I put this in with the meat. So that's what he got. I'm going to use 2 of those. Why does it keep doing that? You're supposed to follow me around. And this is the spaghetti we're going to use. I make my own spaghetti. I mean, I can, but I'm not doing that today. I don't know why it was getting stuck before. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to do a little bit more. The pine nuts from, this is Kirkland, but it's Costco brand. Open another bag and then, oh my God, why, if you're following me around, why don't you go back to your position? I'm just gonna put a little bit more because I like the nuts. So I'm gonna toast these. Yeah, sometimes you're lucky. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. So whenever I see the pine nuts at Costco, I buy about 3 or 4 bags of them. So this is, it's a lot. But I'm gonna toast that. I have coarse, is it Celtic salt in here? They say. What you doing?
Gotta get a bag for the yes.
Now it's following him around. My baby. So, honey, is this a new brand? New? Is that the new packaging or what is it? Why are you taking that? What do you use that for? You use this for the grass?
Yeah, so I can sort it in the recycler. That's what they had, and I tried to pick the one that looked about the same that we used to get.
Because it doesn't look like it's sun dried. you know, oh, maybe I'm expecting it to be roasted. This thing gets stuck, and if I move, you're supposed to follow me around, not move somewhere and get stuck. Okay, so I've cut up the onions. My pot is my pine nuts are in the toaster oven, and these are old, so I'm pulling them up. I don't have anything that fits. I'm buying as I go along. But so that's why they're all the way up. Okay, what next? I like to put bell peppers in my sauce. And I am going to put some oyster mushrooms in my sauce as well. Honey, did you get the olive oil?
We have olive oil.
Where is it, please? Ah, you sure that's all? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, put it there for me, please. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. See you later, social media star.
My beaded is going out to mow the lawn. Okay, so I'm gonna cube these as well. I need to keep an eye on those pine nuts so they don't get burnt. But I have it in the toaster oven, and the toaster oven has a roast option. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it in there for another maybe 2-3 3 minutes. I just want it to brown up a bit and then turn it off. This thing gets stuck. Stop sticking. Probably gonna turn this one off soon. I'm streaming on my Facebook page, Being Mrs. S, and then on my YouTube page. All right. We are going to cut. And this. So my bell peppers, I typically put them in at the end of when the sauce is all good and ready. I like it to be crunchy. You know? Yeah, now I like the crunch of the It's okay, there's some seeds. Yeah, so when I started this whole let me try and lose weight thing, I think I told you guys before that I was on, when this whole I think perimenopause hit me in my mid-30s, okay? Because my body started doing some weird things. There were some changes. And that's when I gained like I gained some weight because I wanted to, but this one was when I got like obese, right? So I think I told you guys that I went on HCG, and HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. That's what HCG is, a hormone that supposedly pregnant women secrete or whatever. And I was injecting myself with that to lose the weight. I think then I had gotten up to like 240 something, 248 or whatever, and I needed to lose the weight. When I got on that program, it was highly, highly restrictive. Like I couldn't eat anything. And my calories needed to be 500 a day. So all the stuff, this spaghetti that I'm making, I couldn't eat it. It was a very, very strict diet. I couldn't cook with oil. If I was going to cook with any oil, it was coconut, and I could not do that. So I basically then didn't eat anything cooked. I couldn't have butter. So all I did was I got a rice cooker that had a steaming basket, and everything I had, I steamed. On the you see how this thing happens? Well, they're definitely brown, but I think I left them in a little longer than I needed to. Because I started chit-chatting. Okay. So it was amazing that I was able to keep to that that routine. So I had to, it was 500 calories, no oils, no salt. no processed. I think the only thing I could have that was remotely processed were like breadsticks for snacks. So even though I lost over 100, I think it was 96, almost 100 pounds, because I was 240, 248, and I think I went down to either 146 or 146.4 or 144.6. I can't remember which one it was. So I lost almost 100 pounds, if not 100 pounds, on HCG. And I think I kept it off for a little while, but it all came back when I moved here. So I left that thing in there too long. I wanted it brown, but not to that extent. Now I'm upset. So I don't think the people who are watching have weight loss issues. So I guess I'll just tell you guys some of the questions I'm asked outside of, my channel. Like when people see me outside and maybe we get to talking, oh, you lost weight, but you don't look like you lost that much weight. Where's all the loose skin? Well, while I was on Ozempic, I was taking collagen peptides, which I don't take anymore. Like, I'm trying as much as I can to get all those those things that should be natural and organic. I'm trying to get them organically. But then I would put collagen peptides, the powder, in my tea. But then I used to make my own broth. So with, bones, right? Bone broth. So my chicken bones or whatever it was, I would buy the beef oxtail and all that. Whenever I cooked all that, and I would have the broth. I make my own butters, my own body butters. I've been doing that for a while. Since the pandemic, the lotion I like to use, my BDD used to buy for me every Christmas. I don't know if it was because of the pandemic, but they stopped selling them in the stores. You could get them. They always brought them out during, Christmas or was it Thanksgiving or something like that, but they don't have them anymore. So I went back to making my own butters. So right on time. So I have my butters that I make, and I don't know, I think that's also helping with the way my skin looks. So, but I do have some loose skin. It's my boobs. You don't want to see what my boobs look like. And then my stomach, you can see it, my stomach, and the bat wings. But because I focus by my weights training on my upper body, because I have a very weak upper body, especially my arms, because I want those defined arms. So it's looking better now, but you could notice it a little. And then my butt, you can see I have Ozempic butt, or let's call it Zepbound butt, because my butt is like almost non-existent now. And you can see a lot of the loose skin in my inner thigh, around up here. hair and a little, this leggings is not giving me a good, it's not giving me a good shape. Why is it doing that? I don't like it. Well, that's because it's not my size. It's bigger for me. But that's what I have. So I don't know if that answers the question. Again, genetics could be a factor. Maybe my whole family, we age well. I don't know if that's what it is, but you know, that could be a part of it as well. So you don't, it's not so obvious that I lost that much weight. So you couldn't tell so much, but there are parts of my body where you know, yeah, there's no question about it. So that's one of the questions I get asked a lot. How is it that you don't look like you lost weight? I want to say most of it probably is due to genetics, right? Because I've yo-yoed. My weight has yo-yoed terribly over the past few years. And this is probably the last. It's never. I am never yo-yoing again. I am going to stay on Zepbound until post-menopause, right? Because right now I'm perimenopausal. The hormones are going helter-skelter. When I'm post-menopausal, I think my hormones would have calmed down because nothing is happening, right? and also hopefully by then, because here in Colorado, they've passed this law. This thing burned. It's because I was talking. I said I would leave it in for 2 more minutes and then forgot about it. Terrible. Anyway, what was I even saying? Right, yo-yoing. So I think after you know, when I'm good and past menopause and I'm postmenopausal and the hormones have kind of, the hormones are now respecting themselves. Oh yeah, so I was telling you about the law that was passed in Colorado regarding these GLP drugs, and they're supposed to take effect in 2027. So my insurance company, regarding insurance for those drugs, 2027 though. Why couldn't they start it now that I need it? Why all the way in 2027? What is it? Anyway, so they're requiring the insurance companies to cover the drugs. So it'll be more affordable for me. It'll be more affordable for me. I'm really upset about the burning of this pine nuts. Okay, so I'm going to get the oyster mushrooms out of the. I'm going to get the oyster mushrooms out of the fridge. I'm gonna wash them because I like to put them in with the meat. I start the meat going once they've browned enough. I add in the sun-dried tomatoes, and then I add in the mushrooms. And then after I add in the mushrooms, this thing is somewhat defective. I wash the mushrooms with salt and water. The thing about these oyster mushrooms, they're so delicate. Just gonna chop them up. I already started disintegrating. I like to make my spaghetti sauce with I like to use ghee in my spaghetti sauce, but I didn't get any, so it's just gonna be olive oil. some herbes de Provence. Some margarine. Some anise seed. I think I put too much. Some cumin. A little bit of thyme. Now I'm gonna get my Cameroon pepper ready. Okay, so I'm gonna add my onions. I'm gonna add like 3/4 of the onions in right now. And I told you guys I like the crunch of the veggies, so I'll add the onions in later with the I know, right? Paper towel all the time. I'll add the onions in later with the bell peppers, the rest of the onions. Ooh, smells good. So I compost. Okay, so now that my onions are a little translucent, now it's time to add the meat. So I'm using 85 lean, 15% fat. I like the fat of my meat. And I am adding in I don't know, how much is this? Oh. £2. Altogether, 4 pounds meat. I think that's a lot of meat. So I mix in ground pork and ground beef. I don't think it's supposed to be. Yeah, so I was telling you guys, so on that, I couldn't eat any of the stuff I'm eating right now. So that's why I said this time around, it needs to make sense, right? I'm not going to cut off any food groups, which, to be 100% honest, it's almost impossible not to, right? Because part of understanding what's going on with your body is finding out what types of things you're going to eat that causes some form of inflammation or another, right? Let me turn this a little bit. So, in a way, it's going to happen that you're going to end up cutting some stuff out. So, I know if I eat a whole bunch of rice, I'm going to be in a world of hurt because the weight just won't go anywhere. So, and I love rice. I love rice. I love bread. I can eat it every day. So because I know what happens to my body every time I eat that, like now this pasta, I only eat it in moderation. So maybe I'll have it, because I cook for the week. So maybe I'll have it, 1 week out of the month. And then the rest of the time, I'm just eating proteins and vegetables, Okay, so now that I've added in the meat, I am going to add my Cameroon pepper and garam masala and salt. It's going to be a chunky sauce. Very meaty. Those guns are gunning. That pepper just got in my throat. So I'm doing this Q&A because I know that there are a lot of women who are in the same situation that I found myself in with the weight gain. Women in their 50s, let's even say once you notice that something is happening to you that you never experienced before, like with your menstrual cycle going haywire and things that you never experienced before happening to you. I don't know if you're in your late 30s or so. It could be a case of perimenopause, which I didn't realize. Your hormones are just doing weird things. I'm passionate about it because, and I'm having this Q&A right now because that's what happened to me, right? I gained all this weight and I didn't understand why, because it wasn't like I was being ridiculous with food, right? So I know this is the case. With me, and this GLP came right on time. It's not like there weren't any other weight loss options before that. Specifically, Novo Nordisk, they pioneered this whole weight loss drug situation. So they have a whole slew of different drugs that have been out there for a while. Same injections that you give yourself daily. They've had that. But for some reason, this GLPs that are targeting this specific receptors and hormones in the body are just a godsend, I would say, for me. And I know that there are a lot of women, I have friends who gained some weight that they don't even know where it came from, and they don't know how to get rid of it. And if this Ozempic or Zepbound can assist in helping me live a healthy life, oh, by all means, I will be on it forever. So, oh, you can see a little bit of the meat here. Could be because of, yeah, see? A little bit of it, yeah. But it's not as bad as it would ordinarily be. Red pepper. Okay, so I'm letting the meat brown up. Get rid of all the reds. Sometimes when I make my spaghetti, my meat sauce, I add brown sugar, but I'm not doing that today. No brown sugar today. It's all coagulated. It's all, I don't know if that's the right word. See, so now I'm gonna add my sun-dried tomato to the meat. I like this little containers. I might just keep it. Really? My baby is gonna be like, no, you're gonna throw them away. You're not keeping them. But they're cute. They can be reused. No questions. show you what it's looking like without. It's a very meaty sauce. Okay. Very disappointed in, I left them in too long. But now I'm gonna add the pine nuts. And now I'm gonna add my oyster mushrooms. I don't use Facebook Live. It's not on a swivel thing, so it's not getting the. So it's showing nothing. I know. The paper towel use is obscene. Okay. Then I'm gonna add the rest of the onions. Saute for a little bit, and then I will add the tomato sauce. I need to get a bigger pot. And fill up the pot full of the water for the spaghetti. Woo! I don't know how to dance anymore. So, the pot of water is on the stove, and I'm going to put in some salt. Salt, it's I put a lot of salt in my pasta water. I'm gonna let that come to a boil. I mean, I wasn't joking when I was calling it meat sauce. It's going to that's all meat. So it's ready for the sauce now. And then I'll cover it. Just look at my nail. Trick. Trying to open your can and it's not opening. You run some hot water. And easy peasy, you got it open. I can make tomato sauce from scratch. Just no need to at this point. Just gonna reduce the heat. And start cleaning up. I know I'll toss them. Use them anyway. You can toss them. Yes, I use a lot of paper towels to dry my hands. Unnecessary. So I reduce the heat on the sauce. I'm bringing my pasta water to a boil. While that's happening, I'm going to clean up. Questions, questions, questions. So one of the biggest misconceptions people have, because it was a thing, you know, there's always people saying, you know, when they see someone has lost weight, they're like, oh, the person's on Ozempic. So the biggest misconception of these GLP drugs is that once you take it, you just immediately, the weight just disappears. You immediately start losing weight. No, that's not how it works. And of course, I'm sure people are like, well, if you're not eating, you're going to lose weight. Yes, because essentially that's what the semaglutide and tirzepatide part of it is, talking to those receptors that control your food brain, right? Your hunger hormones or whatever, hunger brain receptors, right? But remember these things, and that's why you step up. It only lasts for a little while. Like I said, when I went back on Ozempic, it didn't work so much, right? So you can't just take the drug and think that the fat is going to magically disappear. You have to pepper on this thing. Gotta replace this board. You have to manage what you eat. So less calories in, and you have to exercise, more calories burned. So I exercise at least, and I'm counting, I'm saying it an hour because that's how long I spend in my gym, Monday through Friday. Outside of that, during my work day, I walk around, I have my free weights here that I use. I dance. And those are the things that have actually helped me with the weight loss. Not just the Ozempic. The Ozempic, I say yes, it's a miracle drug. As Ozempic and Zepbound. But if I didn't manage what I was eating and if I didn't exercise, there is no way I would lose the weight. None whatsoever. Sorry, Facebook Live. It's not a swivel. I'm gonna see if I can find one for a big tablet. Like this. But it doesn't move like this other one I have on my phone. So you can't really see. Ah! Why do I still have my Christmas trees? That was someone was about to ask me. Because I like it. Leave me. Laziness. So when Christmas rolls around, we don't have to go bringing it out again. That's why. Okay, looks like my water has come to a boil. And now I'm going to add the pasta to the pot. I'm going to end this Facebook Live. No. Oh. Okay, so I've ended that, and I will end this in a bit, but we shall add the Okay, so yeah, look at the nails. My nails have grown out so much. Okay, so that was it. Wow, it was a long live. I'll wait for it to get to 2 hours and then I'll turn it off. But I have the sauce. You want to see the sauce again? Let me show you. Show you the sauce. And then the spaghetti's in there. And I'm going to add the bell peppers right at the end, just before I turn off the sauce. I'm going to add the bell peppers. And then food is ready. Now I know you guys are saying, wow, that's a lot of sauce and that's a lot of spaghetti. I cook for the week. So I cook so that my BDD can have food to take to work with him. I work from home, so I have food to eat, but I cook for the week. So that's why it looks like a lot. I put it in his bowls for him to take to work with him, and then yeah, that's it. So anyone who's wondering about taking Ozempic or Zepbound, I think it's a great idea. Obviously, you have to talk to your doctor first. You have a bunch of tests you have to do to yourself to make sure that these are things that can work for you. If you have thyroid issues or history of thyroid issues in your family, it's probably not a good idea for you. I didn't have that. If you have type 1 diabetes, this is not going to work for you. It's not. You don't want to do that. But if you're in general good health, comorbidity to have, if your BMI is 27 or lower than 30, maybe diabetes type 2. Jesus. High blood pressure, something else. You can take the Ozempic or Zepbound. But talk to your doctor, do the test, make sure you don't have thyroid issues and things like that. But it's not just taking the shots or whatever that's going to cause you to lose weight. You have to exercise, you have to work out, you have to manage what you eat. The great thing about this, which is what I love, is that unlike HCG that I talked to you about, there wasn't any restriction on what I could eat. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't restrict yourself. It's just the whole process of learning what's going on with your body. So as I cook what I cook or eat what I eat, I have a food journal and a mood journal. I track my moods and what causes different things to happen to my body as the days progress. But I definitely keep a food journal so that I can see what happens to my body, inflammation, based on what I eat. Part of this whole thing, we don't eat out as much. We basically only eat out special occasions, but every now and then I'm like, honey, I don't feel like cooking, we'll order something, and I don't eat nearly as much as I used to eat before Ozempic or Zepbound. So we could order just one meal and both of us split it. So where are we? Okay, got 6 more minutes and then we turn this off. So yeah, so it's definitely a great idea. This is the side view. This is the, I don't know what happened just then. So definitely a great idea. This old lady's feeling tough. The water has splashed everywhere on my stove. That's just ridiculous. Okay, well, I'm happy you guys joined me. I didn't think I had the audience for the Ozempic or Zepbound, but the audience I have, thank you for being a part of this live. I really like this. I think I'm going to be doing a lot more lives, but I'll continue doing my recordings and put them up there for you. But maybe I think what I'll do is maybe when I'm going live again, especially in this situation where I'm going to have Q&As, I will put something in my communities. I'll post something in the communities and let you guys know the intention, so that anyone who wants to, and the time I'm going to start it, so anyone who wants to join and has questions that they may have and they want to ask, they can join at that time, and the flow will be, because I think this was just on the spot, people who just joined. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do the next time. Okay, so now I am going to add the bell peppers to the sauce. Okay, I like them crunchy. That's why they're the last bit. The sauce is pretty much done. So we're just gonna throw in this. They're not gonna sit in there forever, just so they can get some crunch. You done? Oh. That's my BDD. He's not saying anything. He's like, I'm going to be quiet as a mouse so I don't interrupt. Thank God for a wonderful husband, huh? Ah! Honey, come and see if this spaghetti is al dente enough for you. Woo, it's hot. Did you hear me?
Try not to be loud enough.
It still needs a little bit of.
No bit. No bit. That's a little al dente. A little too on the dent. Almost.
Okay. So thank you for joining my Smooners. We spent 2 hours together, and yeah, this was fun. I'll do something another time. I'm still trying to sift through my recordings from Viareggio to see. I mean, I did a lot of live, so well, I want to see if I could put together a video to put in my travel vlog playlist so you guys can see. But yeah, this was fun. And next time, I think maybe I'll post ahead and let you guys know that I'll be going live. And because I know a lot of people have questions about, you know, how, you know, I've managed with Ozempic and Zepbound. And this is a good way to get it out there live. But food is done. We're gonna eat. Then I'm gonna go shower and go get these nails taken care of because they're a little uncute. All right. Thank you, my Smooners, for joining me, and I will circle back.